iDig2Learn, and it's a nonprofit project of Open Space Institute, and this is Jessica Watson to give you a few.
Very quick summary of OSI. We are a land trust. We buy land, we conserve it. We're a land trust. We buy land, we conserve it. We also partner with grassroots organizations to ensure that the investment that we're making on a landscape level is also happening at the community level. There's a competitive application process. That's how we became partners with iDig2Learn. And we do that through a fiscal sponsorship program. We work with approximately 20 groups right now. It's a small portfolio, and we really believe in iDig2Learn's mission. And that's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. So again, Christina Delfico, founder of iDig2Learn. And iDig2Learn is a program that allows children and their grown-ups to explore nature, science, and the origin of food through plant life. And there are a few ways we do this: community engagement, waste reduction initiatives, environmental stewardship, habitat restoration, and neighborhood rejuvenation. I'm going to quickly go through some of the achievements since we have new members on the committee. Basically, iDig2Learn does community engagement such as working with Kohler Hospital and the corporate groups like Google to restore a large garden for the hospital residents. Working with the community, including PSIS 217, to find the pathway to navigate for funding, and through the funding we were able collectively to raise $1.95 million toward the green roof. Island waste reduction initiatives, we work with partners, Big Reuse, to offer a Saturday food scrap drop, and together the community has diverted 100,000 pounds of food scraps from landfill. We also worked with RIOC to create a green map of Roosevelt Island, which shows in the key where residents can drop off their compost, can return their unused medicine at Duane Reade, and also recycle. Environmental stewardship, throughout the years we've planted fruit trees and worked with the community to get them excited about the trees we have here and care for them. Habitat restoration. We look at property that might be underutilized to rebuild habitat, and we always have partners. So when I'm talking about iDig2Learn, I'm talking about extensive partnerships with local groups, schools, and businesses. This is an area behind PS 217 where we work together to recreate it with the community, and we planted pollinator-friendly plants, and now lots and lots of butterflies come there. Neighborhood rejuvenation. We also look at areas like the youth center that may be an underutilized space and get grants to help make it. That's the before and the after. Again, another before and after. Just to give you a little idea of what iDig2Learn has been up to in the community. Now for this grant, we wanted to explore Roosevelt Island's nature in a series called Celebrating Roosevelt Island's Nature. And when we come together and plant beautiful asters, and then the next year monarch butterflies come, we know that we have done that as a community to enhance the habitat. Individual human connection with nature is vital, and we spent some time with Carter Burden at the Senior Center in January doing some microgreen seed planting, and everyone was smiling and learning about healthy food and growing their own microgreens. When you become an expert or do citizen science together, you have something in common. We were thrilled, iDig2Learn, to partner with Audubon, New York, and get our residents out and about for a series of bird walks. And at the end of this bird walk, we hadn't seen much other than pigeons and seagulls, but then we had a tremendous flyover of a red-tailed hawk. Actually, 3 red-tailed hawks, and the local photographer caught these 2, which is sensational and exciting and a shared experience. We encourage islanders to look up at the night sky and brought in an astronomer. Chris from OB Astronomy helped us look at the moon, Jupiter rising, as well as watching the International Space Station go over twice. So the community came out and enjoyed this. Always free, always engaging, always a socially acceptable excuse to get outside and meet your neighbors. So when we're tracking stars, wildflowers, or insects, birds, and sharing our stories, it brings us closer together. These are the partners we've been fortunate enough to engage with, and I just want to thank you all for letting us do this work. In our opinion, creating outdoor experiences gives all of us a socially acceptable excuse to go outside and share in the wonders of nature together. And many people coming outside into nature actually become friends. Otherwise, neighborhoods are just full of neighbors who have nothing in common. Thank you very much.
Thank you. How do you get the word out as to what your programs do for the island?
Well, being locally based and a resident of Roosevelt Island, I actually can engage not only the local media, but have the opportunity and the time to go to the different businesses and the different buildings, and have developed a relationship with the building managers. So whether they have the inter-building building link, or the several local media like the Roosevelt Island blog and The Wire and others, we can really get the word out that way. And then it's all about partners. I'm talking about iDig2Learn, but it's really about the partners. I've engaged all ages through iDig2Learn only because of partnerships. And the concept is, the more partners you bring to the island, the more they meet other local groups and go on to do their own thing separate of iDig2Learn and just expand what we can offer everyone here.
I have to admit, I was very excited about your whole proposal. And when I saw you at RIRA, I said, when is it, when is it? I never heard about any of them. And I don't know, like that's why I was saying to Dave, when? Because I really, really wanted the beekeeper, the Audubon. I mean, I had set my sights like, this is great, I can't wait to do this. And then I never knew when it was happening. And that could be me, but I live on the island. I look at the kiosks, maybe the Wire no longer comes, but I get it online. But I never knew when it was going to happen. And even when you came in and you talked about the composting, I said, when's the next thing? I'm dying to do this. Never went once. Well, very disappointed, because it really looked interesting to me, and it was something I supported and I really wanted to go to. So how was the attendance?
Well, you know, that's very interesting what you say, and I'm really glad for the feedback, because I didn't know how popular these would be. So when I sent the notifications to Janet Falk in the RIRA communications, and she put it on the calendar for the RIRA committee, I was hoping that, you know, people would know about it, plus the flyers, plus the building link, plus the media, plus the Twitter and the Instagram. However, the bird walks, the 3, filled up within an hour. So I did not expect that, and luckily something like the astronomer and gazing at the moon, we were out there from 7 at night till 11:30 at night, so more people could, you know, it wasn't a limited attendance. So I'm really learning. I had this vision for iDig2Learn to engage people with marine life and sea and plants and you name it, birds and all. But I had no idea how popular it would be and how much we were thirsting to get outdoors. So now knowing that, I mean, I really need feedback to help get the word out to everyone.
I never saw anything. I didn't see it in my building, doesn't have anything online, but they put up posters. Never saw it on a kiosk. I mean, I don't go to the blog regularly and read it, I know, unless it tells me there's something I need to read. Well, and Wire isn't under my door anymore, but I do read it when it comes. I don't know, it may just be me, but I really wanted it. I
This
wanted
is
to go
great
do that.
feedback, and you know, Dave sometimes asks the question, you know, what have you learned? What can you do better? And that's one of the areas. Now that I know what's super popular, I feel like presenting at RIRA is something I do when something's coming up as well. So people who are attending, but yeah, we can be tighter on communication. We talk to everyone about that. I mean, I know that RIRA is working with Cornell Tech to make a better calendar. And I want you all to be able to know about these things. So yes, there's room for work. Absolutely. Good note. Yes.
How many of the participants were actually from the island? Or were they
All of them.
All of them were from
All of them. Except for the astronomer had a few followers because he's so popular. So a couple people came from Queens and around Bronx, you know, because they follow him. But when it's limited to RSVP only small group, it has to be islanders. This is a grant that's born of the island from someone who lives on the island for the islanders. Good question.
That would mean internet. It would have had to have come, if it was an RSVP.
Oh, my phone, my email is, yeah, some is email, and if that's a really good.
Maybe I'm not on your list.
No. I mean,
No, I'm not saying it.
I do walk around to the buildings who aren't on Building Link and drop off flyers, but then the team, the maintenance team, has to, you know, take time out of their busy schedule to post them. So my hope is to get a representative in each building to help as these things come out.
Well, if you give them to us at RIRA, I can do Westview at least, you know.
That's great.
Always, it's not a problem.
Let's do that, because I think talking in front of RIRA seems not to be enough.
I think in your budget, this is kind of macro probably. I think macro is less than micro, is that correct?
Say that one more time.
Macro is at a smaller, more, a tighter level than micro level, I think. Anyway, it was pointed out to me, for example, that you list the cost of supplies. This should be a simple question, okay? Supplies, I think, at $63.50.
6530.
63.30.
6530.
65.30. Okay. Well, all right. So the one of my panel members who was unfortunately unable to be here tonight wanted to know, well, how do you break down your numbers? You quantify, but then it doesn't give, in their opinion, an idea of exactly how you come up with these numbers, if that makes sense.
It does, 100%. It's a great question. Basically, supplies, just like equipment, I am looking at what I envision for the different kinds of activities. So if we get a marine biologist here, we'll deal with water capture and microscopes. If we have bird watchers here, we'll deal with binoculars. Two reasons for just not breaking it down too deeply. One is because I know you have a lot to read and go through, so I want to keep it simple and clear. And the other is a little bit of flexibility, as maybe the New York Botanical Gardens can't come for that particular one, but another group can come down from New York State to do an iNaturalist insect survey. So if that's the case, I definitely want to be able to have the flexibility to gear up and give the supplies needed when people drop out of their schedules. You know, especially because this grant check was presented with 1 week left in the calendar year of the grant, the last time around. So not knowing, I want to be flexible and ready.
Does anyone from the audience have a question?
Yes.
Hey, Christina, what is the total amount that you're requesting?
The total amount is the same amount as last year. There was no reason to go beyond that. $21,700 is the total amount iDig2Learn is requesting to service various nature experiences and workshops throughout the island in different locations: Senior Center, North, South, Mid-Island, making it easy, young, and a little bit older than young.
Another question?
Comment.
Yes, ma'am?
Comment. And a question. Christina, you're out and about all the time, and that's how we met. You use word of mouth very, very, very well to let us know what's going on. Perhaps you just need more people to do that because your one-on-one engagement is very powerful in the way you advertise what you do. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I mean, you've been a pleasure to work with. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, audience, and we have to move on.